Hey everyone, Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. So if you guys haven't paid any attention here recently, the U.S. Mint has, crazy as it seems, has thrown out multiple lightning in a bottle releases, and guess what? It's not ending anytime soon. Considering that we're 4 months away, four months. Man, I can't even believe how fast this year is going. From quite possibly the biggest event, bar none, that we are seeing in our current lifetimes. The 250th anniversary of our country will be all wrapped up in one big multi-promotional event by not only the U.S. Mint, but probably a bunch of other mints will participate as well in this event too. And 2025 is fooling a lot of people because it's not leaving our minds as kind of an afterthought year, because everybody's got their eye on the prize, right? 2026, we're gonna hunker down, we're gonna wait, we're gonna save our money. And I'm telling you, it's simply just not happening the way that we're all kind of like narratively looking at this through our lenses, so to speak. My eyes are clear. My brain is, there's no fog in here, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to explore are just some absolute dimes that the U.S. Mint has been cranking out. Not to mention, are we going to discuss the pieces that have blazed a trail here in the last, I would say, 45 days. But boy, some of these upcoming releases are going to be absolute blockbusters. I usually don't promote any financial advice, but maybe you guys need to kind of keep an eye on these, because they're going to they're going to be something. And 4 months away, everybody can afford to dip their toe into a couple of these coins. There are some that are just so big for our collective britches that if we missed out, it's understandable. The pieces were just way too pricey that normal everyday people like myself couldn't even afford it. So the first one, by no really big surprise, I mean, these things, you didn't need a crystal ball to predict that the armed services privy Silver Eagles were going to be a hot thing. And they are. They are some of the most desired Silver Eagles today. Called a little microburst of extra activity surrounding the Silver Eagle market. These things, everybody wants them, because everybody knows someone that has served in the Army or the Navy or the Marine Corps. All three of these, by the way, releasing this year. And they're all going to sell out. They're all going to be highly desired. People will have no problem paying more than what the issue price was. In this particular case, $105 for the Army, which released last month. And I mean, seriously, the Navy and Marine Corps are going to sell out. And it doesn't matter what mintage limit you put on it. Now, obviously, you want to have a little bit of exclusivity to it. So they did 100,000 pieces for the mintage. And not only that, that is the end of the earth. That is what they're producing. They're not making any more of these for some specialized set. What you see is what you get. These things, all they did was take a standard Silver Eagle and put the Army crest on there as a privy mark, and I think it's probably one of the most diabolically just smartest ideas that you could do to kind of reinvigorate our storied silver bullion. They did a really good job here. $105 sold out within moments. All right. Again, no big surprise. And considering the fact that these things had no household order limit, it really opened the doors, the Pandora's box of profit, so to speak, on these. People can go in and buy 100 at a time, and You want to know how much these things are selling for? For every $100 you're spending on these, you're being given another $100 bill so long as you sell it. So yeah, you're definitely 2xing your money here. These are a couple of the most realized sales here within the last few weeks in the month of August. Still over $200 for the raw original government packaging pieces. Graded examples, high liquidity, lots of equity here on all of the Proof 70 Army Privy coins. This one's selling for $1,025, but it's even signed by Mercanti, where Mercanti signs everything under the sun, even NGC slabs. So that's really no big surprise there. It is an advanced release coin. But go ahead and examine the figures. They haven't moved since they were A, went on sale, and B, when they were introduced onto the secondary market. We're looking at eBay right now. And all the pieces have been sitting well above $200 on realized sales, and the amount of coins being sold is at a record level right now. So, here's another one here in a black holder. It's not an advanced release or anything like that. It is a Proof 70 in this black holder for $333 with 14 bids. Here's a Proof 69 if you want to see what a Proof 69 coin looks like. That's where it sits, $245. So a little bit better. It's kind of a bad feeling when your coin comes back into 69 because obviously, you're for every 4 coins that you get graded, they're going to grade out a perfect 70 except for that one. So it's like a 1 out of 5 ratio there for the grading because they're all generally very well done at the utmost highest quality, and what else can you ask for? So the ones that are performing the best obviously are your advanced releases, your first day of issues, things like that. The specialized pieces, to be sure, are going to be commanding the most amount of money. Here's this beautiful PCGS Proof 70 in this holder. It's got a couple signatures on there because of that, $895. So these were hot right out of the gate. If you were grading them, congratulations. If you're getting 70s, congratulations. This is printing money here. It's about as good as it gets from the U.S. Mint. Okay, the next one, which kind of just really threw me for a freaking loop here. I had prophesized that this thing was going to be hot garbage. You guys proved me wrong. It sold within the same day. $2,175 for a half ounce 2025 Sacagawea. Kind of like a gold dollar remake, I suppose. Celebrating the 25th anniversary. Okay, bravo. It sold out. $21.75 is a very, very stout number considering it's about $500 more above and beyond what melt price is currently in today's market. But the presentation is nice. I will admit, the gold with the black case is really right nice on this. This is not for me. I still reserve the right to say that I don't see the long-term viability for this, but that's my opinion. However, it did sell out. Prices have stabilized a little bit on this one. They used to be a little bit higher. Here's a OGP ungraded example for $26.65, $23.95 here, another one. Prices still kind of all over the place, considering that there's a $270 price difference between the first two here that you see. $25.35, graded one still a tick over $3,000 in perfect 70. $25.25, $25.99. So if you get in these, turn around and flip them. If you factor the eBay fees, which on $2,600 at 14% comes out to almost $300. So the profit is, if you're selling the coin raw in the original government packaging, you're probably going to end up making about a C note. There are worse things that you could do, but why I'm telling you here is these things sold out. They sold out within the same day. Obviously, your power play with these is to get them graded, get that 70 numerical grade in, and then that's where you're going to realize the most amount of money here. All right. Next one that we have here, okay, kind of out in left field. Boy, did these things blaze across the community. These beautiful sunflower American Liberty 2025 metals and gold coin. Holy smokes. Yeah, these things sold out almost immediately. The silver medal ended up realizing a mintage of 60,000 pieces. The price is actually very tantalizing. I kind of saw this one as not so much a sleeper, but I saw the writing on the wall for this one that it was going to be a performer, and boy did it exceed not only my expectations but everyone else's. So the silver medal has no designated face value, so it's technically not legal tender. It is, however, 1 ounce of silver. It's a stunning design, high relief, absolutely amazing. As you can see, it says "Remind Me." This one released a few days ago before the weekend. $97. Shoot, sign me up. But this is a really pretty presentation. Very limited amount of these were produced. I think the mintage here is key. But raw examples, graded examples in 70. First day of issue, $350 for the silver medal, $174.99. Quick little $80 profit there on that one. $207.88 for another 70 grade. $224.89. Ultra Cameo. First day, this was an A&A release. They released these during the A&A show in Oklahoma City. So yeah, people had the opportunity to pick these up already graded, I think. But yeah, CAC G getting in on the fun as well. There with a perfect 70, 224. I mean, these coins, what else can we say? They're stunning. I've seen a few people do YouTube videos, kind of like showing the relief and the proof and all that stuff, the technology, the quality. I kind of wish I would have bought one. It's opportunity loss. I could, I'll probably end up, picking up a graded one. But boy, there is something about actually having just a coin in your hand, the metal, to just kind of fumble around with, because these things are really nice. I actually like the packaging. The film noir contrasting of the black and the grays and whites. It's just chef's kiss all the way around. Of course, the gold ones as well. A paltry mintage of only 12,000 pieces, but boy, that price tag makes you shiver in your boots. $4,265 is what this one sold for, and it's sold within the same day too. Usually when it says currently out of this item, it may be restocked later. Don't let that fool you. 99.999% of the time, it doesn't. They don't restock it. It's got no household order limit. So again, that's kind of like open up the Pandora's box of opportunity for a lot of people that want to, possibly capitalize on something like this. The secondary market prices, by the way, will blow you away. Now, obviously, the power play here is to get these things graded. Most of them are going to come back a perfect 70, and you will end up making well in excess of $1,000 in net profit by the time you factor in fees and things like that. So, again, that's the move right there. Get them graded, but if you did not want to get them graded, you could certainly sell it as it is, but keep in mind you're probably going to end up making about $200 to $300 in net profit. Okay, not a whole heck of a lot. But then again, like I said, there are much worse, returns on your investment out there, especially coming from the U.S. Mint. You just never know with the U.S. Mint these days. We haven't seen this kind of like a hot stretch, this hot run of coins. That's an awesome picture right there in that NGC holder. It's just back to back to back bangers. And then we have, a whole other 3-4 months to cap off the year, and it is not stopping yet. Here's what else is coming into pipeline. Okay. This one right here is a little bit of a sleeper. I'm not going to lie. The 2025 1 ounce palladium, okay, is not for everyone. But I also want to mention that for this particular year, look at the mintage limit, 6,000. If I'm not mistaken, it's either tied or it becomes the lowest mintage coin as of right now. And these usually take a little while to sell out. Palladium used to be really expensive. They've since kind of like adjusted with like the platinum market and all that. It's less than gold, I can tell you that right now. But I'm here to say that this one might actually be a sneaky good purchase because it is the lowest confirmed mintage as of right now. Things are still very fluid. We have about a week and a half because this release is September 4th. We don't know what kind of additional information we're going to receive in advance of this release, but keep an eye on this one. I'm not saying you guys need to get a second mortgage to buy these because it is a household order limit of 1, but at only 6,000, it's a very low number mintage-wise. Another one, okay, no big secret. Navy Privy is gonna be a hot one. This one releasing October 10th at 12 noon Eastern time, and I mean I'm gonna be in for a couple of these. So I'm gonna see if I could order one, and my wife will order one through another address, and try and game the system here so at least we get 2. Because my wife's retired Navy, and my dad served in the Navy for a number of years too. So this one's going to be hot, no doubt about it. Also, the Marine Corps, this one's not going to last either. It's going to be gone in light speed. Okay, what they did not divulge is like mintage information, and I'm willing to bet they're all going to be 100,000. So keep that in mind. If you think it's enough, it's never enough. That's for sure, because these are being gifted. We're going to be in the middle of the holidays here pretty soon. This one, November 10th again. I'm not saying to be on a lookout. Just know that, just bounce in and buy one. Because these things will have lots of longevity, so long as the mint doesn't kind of like go to the well too often with these things, like in 2026 and 27, things like that. If they find something that's really hot, they might be compelled to continue on with it, every year. So, what I'm going to tell you to be on to be kind of like very wary on are these DC Comics releases, both in silver and gold, because as of right now, there's no limits on the silver. However, the gold, there is going to be some sort of mintage limit. And I think with the golds, there's going to be some sort of like desirability here for these, because it's the first year of the DC Comics US Mint collaboration, number 1. Number 2, if you guys haven't seen the Superman, the Batman, and the Wonder Woman, which is by far my favorite, there's just something about this Wonder Woman one that is incredibly gorgeous. These designs were very well done. Okay, I mean, if you're a fan of the comic verse, whether it's Marvel or DC or whatever the case is, it's all about the execution. Now, we've seen a bunch of worldwide mints that have done both the Marvel and DC comic IPs. So the US Mint obviously very late to the party here, but the silvers don't have any distinguished mintage limit because we've seen the Superman that's on pre-order right now. There's just plenty of it to go around. The golds, however, will be limited to an extent. However much that number is remains to be seen. But these ones right here, I would say, kind of just know that they're there. But, only jump on them if you're a fan, I would say. The arbitrage opportunity Is a little bit of a gamble on these. So, yeah, just be careful. A lot of people are going to be grading them, so that's going to be where that opportunity lies. Here's the Superman. As you can see, mintage limit 10,000. Superman is the biggest character in DC Comics. The new movie that came out over the summer has been the hottest thing so far. You'd figure that would kind of help support this, but the item is still available for pre-order. You could still add one to your cart, you know. I don't know if that's any guarantee that you will receive the product, but it's still open, add to bag, things like that. So, yeah, this one right here, be wary on. It's still available, as I know. And then the one that came out about a week or so ago, this one right here, I had talked about. This is the Silver Eagle where they did the laser engraved etching on there, which is more or less just kind of like a sun starburst or a sunburst, right as the privy mark that they used. And this one right here, don't let this one fool you. This is just kind of like a sampler or a showcase coin to help show us this new laser engraved technology, which they've used on the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps privies. Okay, it looks great. They're going to do good things with this new technology. However, this one particular piece right here, I don't think it's going to have nearly as much punch or guts compared to the Armed Forces releases. This one again is more just a sampler of like, hey, this is this is our laser engraving. This is what this looks like on this coin. But I don't think there's any long-term viability here with this one. In my humble opinion, it's just a regular Silver Eagle with, this new technology they're using. But it's better served on things specific like the Army, Navy, things like that. 100,000, same mintage as those three other Silver Eagles. Still showing add to bag, so there's still some opportunity there. This might sell out later on in the year, but I would say don't kind of like put all your chips into that pot, thinking that this is going to be the next coming of something better, because it hasn't happened. It's still available. So that is going to go ahead and wrap things up on this one. Hopefully that if some of you took advantage of like those beautiful sunflower American Liberty coins, whether it's a silver or gold, the Army Privy, and the Sacagawea, congratulations. Those things have been doing really, really good on the secondary market. And then, we have some more upcoming. So that's going to go ahead and do it. I shall see you guys next time. Enjoy this hobby. Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. You guys have a wonderful day. And I'll catch you guys later.